talk about entrepreneurship and new music in the midst of Western classical music, and let me cross it off my list.
I've been trying to think of my cello life more and more like a small business for a lot of reasons. One, it's helping me feel like I'm getting stuff done instead of just like swimming in a sea of will I make money someday.
Yes.
You know, I have a business plan. I have objectives. I have a 5-year, like my 5-year goals, my 10-year goals. You know, like two, there are lots of resources for small businesses that are actually much more focused and helpful sometimes than like for cellists, right? Like, or for musicians. If you think of yourself as a small business owner, it kind of opens your eyes to a lot of different things you can be doing that aren't just practice. And then finally, it's just helped me a lot with my personal life, because instead of feeling badly for being, for working too many hours, because I'm married and I want to spend time with my husband, instead of feeling badly for working too many hours or like my profits or anything like that, like I can say, oh, I'm a small business owner. I've been actively like building my business for only probably 2 years. The first year I was honestly just like, oh my God, doctorate. Like It was no like career building. It was just like, please don't drown, So like when when I'm a small business owner, I have to set hours for myself. And if I'm not working in the evening, it's not because I'm a slacker or I don't care about music or I'm not passionate enough. It's because, oh no, I'm not working now, so I can maintain my family life and be balanced as a small business owner.
Yourself are a brand, and then you have other things that are part of your brand or an extension of your brand. But musicians don't think of themselves like that. They think of themselves as, I play the violin, I play the piano, I play the cello. So I'm just going to practice because that's what you do. You practice. But I think what you just said, you are a small business. You do have to make money.
This is a process, and small businesses rarely make much of a profit at all, if any, for easily 5 years.
Oh, easily.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm normal, I'm not, like I'm building something, and it's normal for it to take time, and that just makes me feel better about how things are progressing.
All-encompassing entrepreneurial. I can't say that word.
DMA.
I
don't think I've had to say it yet, so we haven't watched me fail. Maggie is here.
I'm kidding. Not
She's visiting. She's cute. Anyway.
That's very clever.
It was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, I think that's it's a very interesting thing, and it's something that they don't teach.
No, they don't.
I mean, we're just starting to find entrepreneurial programs at colleges, universities, music schools in general, and conservatories. I think conservatories are actually kind of leading the way. I took a class at Boston Conservatory that was career skills for musicians. That was helpful. I wish it had gone further, and I wish that it... But at that point I knew nothing, so it was already more than I knew. And if I hadn't had that class, I probably wouldn't have thought to do anything that I'm doing now. It would have taken me 5 more years to figure it out.
Something else that's so tricky about those classes is they're often taught by someone who didn't have to use the methods that are relevant today. And I don't really know I admire people for teaching that class, how difficult it must be to like almost have to set aside your experiences and look at what the modern experience is. And that's a pretty difficult position to be in. We've had so many good discussions that have helped me think of ideas for myself that aren't ideas I would ever have gotten from a tenured professor, because they're a tenured professor, right? They don't think about
I want a college teaching job. That's what I want to be doing. But I don't want a big college teaching job. I don't want to teach at a major university. I want to teach at a small liberal arts school that has sort of an intimate music school that allows for lots of things. So, I would like to teach music history and music theory. I wouldn't like to teach music theory, but nobody wants me to do that. People who have been influences in my life don't know how to go about getting these jobs in the current market. I mean, I don't think that any of my teachers, my major professors, would be offended if I didn't cut this and said that they don't have that experience. And recently, it's the same thing with even performers. I mean, when you were here in almost 2014, it's a different world than it was even in 2002 or 1992 or 1982 or 72, when many people were starting their careers. It's very difficult. It's a completely different world we live in to be a performer. You don't practice 10,000 hours, go to Carnegie Hall, get your New York Times review, and that's it. You're off on a magic carpet ride of musical success.